Roast pork is a huge celebration meal. It's usually considered synonymous with Chinese festivals, but let me tell you, Catholics love their roast pork as well. Time for my grand finale, my showstopper, roast pork belly. Here we have it. This is about 1 kilo and some. Little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper, some shahi jeera. I don't want to dry the meat out at all, so I'm going to layer the base with some apples. These apples from Washington are completely juicy and crunchy, and you get it everywhere these days. So I'm creating something like a bridge among the water so that my meat of the pork will not touch the bottom. There I want to put some onions as well. Very rough chop. Goes my belly. On top, I'm going to put some fennel seeds and a little bit of salt. Actually, not a little bit, a lot of salt, because that is what is going to make this skin turn out like bacon by the time it comes out. So now I'm going to pour some hot water onto the base, making very sure that it does not touch my skin, because if it touches the skin, then the crackling effect is gone. We're doing two things here. We're trying to crackle the skin like bacon. At the same time, we want to keep the meat of the belly really succulent and mouth-wateringly delicious. So, to start the crackling process off first, I put the oven full thwack. Now, when I put the pork belly in, I'm going to bring it down to 220 and leave it like that for about 20 minutes. Bring it down to 180 degrees Celsius for the rest of the 1.5 hours. So, this goes in. Along with our pork today, we have roast vegetables with honey and sesame seeds. I've parboiled the potatoes because potatoes take a longer time to cook. Meanwhile, leaving the mooli and the carrot raw. Into my tray goes my carrot and my mooli and potatoes that I'm going to leave in chunks because they've already been slightly cooked. I don't want them to burn, so just like that. Now I'm going to make my marinade. For that I need some butter, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. Pepper first, salt. And paint away. On top of this, I'm going to put some delightful rosemary and some thyme. If I put too much honey, it's going to burn really fast. So here I'm looking just to put strings of honey through. Now this is ready to go into the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes. I'm just toasting some sesame seeds now. I promised you honey roasted veggies with sesame seeds. So I want to toast these sesame seeds before I put them at the last stage of my roasting veggies. Just 10 minutes this goes into the oven, but having been toasted. That looks nice and golden. I'm just going to put my sesame seeds on top. And almost encrusting my veggies. It's quite awesome how they taste. The veggies will be in the oven for about half an hour at 200 degrees Celsius. The belly will be in the oven for about 20 minutes in its high crackling state and an hour and a half at 180 degrees Celsius. My pork looks ready to come out of the oven. I'm going to quickly move the pork and make a quick sauce out of all the apples that's been cooking inside it. First, I think I want to drain a little bit of the oil, the pork lard. This goes on to quite a bit of high heat. I want to put a little bit of water into that, little bit of butter, and bring it to a boil. Some salt and some pepper and just a dash of cinnamon. Once it comes to a rollicking boil, we're going to put the heat off a little bit and let it simmer down till we get a nice consistency in the sauce. Then we're going to sieve the sauce and just get the fine liquid out of it. Meanwhile, the pork. This is what I mean by a crackling. Can you hear that sound? This is bacon. It's glorious. My sauce is ready. I'm actually going to reduce this sauce a tad bit further. Back in the pan. And put 2 more minutes on heat. This is just the consistency I want.